My story did not start the day I was born.
It didn't even start the day I was conceived.
The first chapter was written 10 decades ago.
With the people of my family who came before me. My story includes their stories.
My story includes those dreams they had.
My story started long before I existed.
In the neighborhoods where they grew up.
In the homes filled with love or longing.
In the minds and hearts of those who touched their lives.
In the incidents.
Disasters.
And triumphs that shaped who they became.
And it includes what they decided to do.
We are the sum of the reactions, the choices, and the mistakes.
Of all those who came before us.
You see, we are not blank slates.
Not one of us.
Not even you. It's a generational thing.
We are the products of so much more.
We are the products of our parents.
And grandparents.
And aunts and uncles.
Brothers and sisters and cousins.
And even the friends.
And strangers.
That affected them.
It's really a big mixed up soup.
A swirling mass of humans.
That bump into one another.
And move in and out of each other's lives.
Changing them forever.
Sometimes in a moment.
My story was written by lots of people.
See, long before there was a me, there was a day.
And their choices changed the kind of life I have lived. We all affect one another every time we interact.
That's a tough thing to think about.
And not very pretty sometimes. Because the stranger who raped my mother changed her forever.
Because my grandmother's 13 siblings changed her forever.
Because my father's constant beatings changed him forever.
Because when my drunk cousin drove off the road and died, it changed my family forever.
Because the night my grandfather's house burned down, it changed him forever.
That is the hard stuff.
That is the stuff that makes people different.
Changes how they view the world.
Or who they trust. Or who they love.
And how they handle others.
Or themselves.
That is the stuff that manages to get into our conscience.
Into the little cracks we have in our armor.
And sometimes eats away at us little by little.
At our confidence little by little.
At our happiness little by little.
At our dreams of the future we thought we have little by little.
At our understanding of who we are at our very core, little by little. And yet, we all make choices. We make choices on what gets written on our pages.
And what we deny.
What we erase.
What we incorporate.
What we change.
We make gut-wrenching choices.
About how to handle what happens to us.
Sometimes for the better, with more happiness and hope for all.
Sometimes not so much, with disastrous results.
And even those choices, maybe there was something else changing lives of those who come next.
It's like a chemical reaction.
Sometimes controlled and measured.
Sometimes explosive and unpredictable.
But the choice is the important part.
And just like generations before me made choices.
So do I. I write new stories with my choices. I can make the choice to accept the verbal abuse of my father or deny those lies.
I can make a choice to be smothered by my mother's death or grieve her loss and celebrate her life.
I can make a choice to repeat the drug-induced haze of my brother or breathe the fresh air of new opportunities.
I can make a choice to be defined by the stereotypes of disorders and depression, or I can embrace help and learn to thrive.
I can make a choice to hate my body and my skin after the attack, or I can reach into my core and know that I am worthy.
I can make a choice to believe the labels of failure and dropout, or move past public schools, disappointments, and succeed.
I can make a choice,
I get to choose.
but I can't do that on my own.
I need someone to push me.
To encourage,
To assist.
To challenge.
to care, and every time I walk into our center, there's a whole team of people, and they do just that.
As aggravating as that may be some days, they are still there.
As frustrated as I've gotten, they are still there.
As
desperate and miserable as I can, they're still there.
And when it's just right and finally good, they are still there.
But they remain there because of you, because of your choices. Together in this space,
When you discuss,
and observe,
And decide.
And plan.
And dream.
your choices affect these amazing people on whom I rely.
so that means your choices affect me.
And because you are fighting for them, you are fighting for me.
But don't forget, this is a generational thing.
So what I learned.
And how I grow,
And when I'm healthy,
And who I become.
and where I improve, affects those who come after me.
my children and grandchildren,
My nieces and nephews.
And the friends and strangers I have yet to meet. You are writing a new chapter to my story.
You're writing a different future to my story.
You are writing positive changes to my story.
and all the stories after mine.
Because I am another chapter in my family's book, you are changing its outcome.
You've altered our direction,
Interrupt with the paradigms.
The sickness,
the abuse,
The pain,
the hopelessness.
You are a part of the change.
And for that, we are so grateful.
We trust you, our trustees, as all the girls before us have.
To continue to listen and lift us.
To lead and learn from us.
To support and share with us.
You are the authors. Explore a fabulous new beginning.
You are the authors. Change the characters.
You are the authors. Open a fresh chapter.
You are the authors. Turn the page.
You are the authors. Write us a new story.